Hi friends, welcome to today's video, and I've got some news. There's going to be a CyberCons Facebook page. It's just going to be talking about the new stuff that CyberCons is doing. Me, Andy, and Adam were basically setting up the Facebook page, and also there's going to be some news on that with regards to what happens. The big corporations, there's basically the progressive web app is still they made it non-proprietary and put it on GitHub because it was literally running its courses, and literally it just but the absolute mess of it is just like we've been speaking to the past Indietronics people that ran Indietronics into the ground, and the reason they did that was because they had no money, and when they sold it and passed the name around, the CyberCons didn't do justice. And I know there's been Discord groups, I know, and there's a load of things running, and there's a load of groups running, and I just haven't got the time to catch up with people that just didn't do justice. And there was a load of spam which basically turned up on CyberCons, and that was basically one of the reasons why we decided that we wouldn't bother with it. But I understand that there's been several web communities that have been set up, kind of giving some of the news, the users some lowdown info, and most of it has been generally helpful to users. Other stuff hasn't been, and we know there's been some slop, which we're going to be sharing about the AI taking over the certain browsers, but it wouldn't have taken over that browser because it was an open browser, and still is. And Indietronics still use the CyberCon's open browser, and it's probably going to make them money. Of course, they can't call it the CyberCon's browser because of the court case that happened. Even though they bought our brands out very last minute, and everything like that, and that was all through COVID. Basically that was all that happened. But a lot of these things, like a lot of these user groups and stuff, they died off because they didn't have the money to obviously keep them running, so they had to take a lot of stuff down, and that was before all of the drama. You see, after the drama, the one problem that everyone had was money. If you don't have money, you can't survive. That's literally a fact. And there was a lot of problems with people surrounding that. And they even had a focus group which was held to do with the fact that would they be able to put money into keeping CyberCons running. And, the people that did buy it just couldn't keep it running because they didn't see value, and the whole project has flopped. And it didn't help that the wrong people were stomping their feet over the wrong things. And if you stomp your feet in the wrong places, you basically get what's coming for you, if you know what I mean. And there was also the president of Indietronics, George Galea, who passed away. He had cancer, aggressive cancer. And so that's why he was finding it very difficult to contact him. So the president that took over him was John Layer. Didn't do much because he was only a figurehead, because Don Atkins was pushing him in the wrong direction every time. And then John Hurd and Don Atkins just kind of said, right, well, we're taking the company. And they basically just they had basically everybody living inside their pockets. Video gamers couldn't finish their projects off because a lot of their funds were being stolen from under their feet. And obviously the heat was on with Phil Core, who had just joined the company by that point, and literally everybody else that was working with Indietronics, even companies working outside, were literally, they had the doors slammed in their face, and because they wanted, and this was before all the drama. The drama started when Don Atkins and John Hurd basically snatched the wheel off everybody's hand because they wanted the company to go into their direction, and it just didn't. They literally, they were nobody was singing from the same hymn sheet like they should have done. And so, because it was out of everybody's hands, the company went bankrupt. And so, all projects got terminated. There was even a massive building or a massive development sat there in Wales, and no work got done on it at all. And nobody was going to move there. Nobody was going to... and it's funny because through lockdown, they were talking about what to do with this building in Wales, which nobody could touch because it was in lockdown, and the Welsh government wasn't allowing anybody to come in and out of Wales, and there was all that all that palaver, which we all know about. But after the palaver, there was more palaver with Don Atkins and John Hurd. And now the drama's died down because they just sit on lives all day. I've talked about it, they just sit on live streams. They just beg on, internet begging or digital begging, I like to call it, where they'll just sit on a stream and talk poo all day until they get money or whatever currency that they get. And to be honest, like, Don Atkins just sits in his pool all day. He just runs his live blog from time to time, but he just streams endlessly for money. And so the money that he's got isn't technically his in my eyes. And I don't want to go any further with that. I know there's people, I understand there's people that want me to talk about that, and I probably will, because there's a very interesting story going on, doing the rounds, over a Minecraft server that was hacked. I don't even think it was a Minecraft server, but it was a Minecraft server that was hacked, but then they managed to turn this Minecraft server into a BitCurrencies. Yeah, it's a story I'll cover at some point. They even managed to use some tokens, physical currency, and turn it into digital currency, and they managed to get thousands. And I knew the beginning of the story with the whole BitCurrency thing, but then they were using like blockchain, and they managed to hack people that were using blockchain, and they just got straight in there, and they were just like, we know what the accusations were, but we also know what the truth was. So yeah, we'll get into that, and it's I understand these guys were literally wanting to hide behind keyboards and hide behind screens for a while and be these keyboard warriors. But hey, if you're gonna be a good keyboard warrior, at least have good armor to cover yourself with. Because when someone comes trashing down and and hey, these guys had great business minds. Don Atkins is still selling these courses which people are making thousands of pounds. And I didn't directly speak to them. I know people that did, but I didn't. And I said to the agents or whoever it was running the whatever it was, I said, listen, we won't be advertising the stupid courses and this, all of their stupid stuff, because they're sat there in mansions. you know, a mansion that your average Joe can't afford. So, and there was accusations of them screwing Nintendo and stuff like that. Well, they you know, there was money that just went missing over time, and when the Cybercons case got dropped, we learned a hell of a lot of things after that, which we could talk about now till the cows come home. And I know a lot of people want to know, and yeah, it's stuff that we can talk about now, which we couldn't back in the day, but now we can talk about it till the cows come home. We can, you know, this is something that we can tell people about. So anyway, I am leaving you with this, and I know this has been a bit of a sit down, turn the camera on kind of a video, but yeah, I've got stuff to do, and I'll see you guys in the next video.